question. If you were able to offer a training course to the deputies, what would it be? And Mr. Calvin, why don't you go first?
A training course would be associated to the minimizing of liability. Proper documentation and advisement of supervisors during critical situations when there's a potential for a liability. What I mean by that liability is a lawsuit. The Sheriff's Department in the past 5 years paid out $8 million. Monica did mention the incident during which a deputy killed 2 bicyclists, but there's also $3.8 million more during which deputies are involved in incidents that cause lawsuits to be paid out by you. Those lawsuits are paid out by you. The tax dollars that you pay, they're not in the budget of the sheriff. That's why the incumbent says, I'm within budget. If we counted the lawsuits that were paid out by the county, she'd be way over budget. The other part of this too is the number of abuses. As I pulled the Public Records Act associated to this, we're talking about excessive force. We're talking about violations of constitutional rights. During one incident, there was a deputy that actually used mace on a very senior woman. I'll tell you, training is extremely important to ensure that officers do not abuse the community, that they treat people with courtesy and respect, and that's going to be a requirement as we talk about cultural diversity. The requirements is to treat people with respect. When you need force, you have to use it appropriately, but do not go overboard.
Thank you. Mr. Monica?
What I wanted to say on the training, I'm going to say in a minute, but going back real quick to the Pink Poodle incident where there was a murder, just so you know, Pink Poodle is run by organized crime. It's run by the Hells Angel. And one of the people that work there is a retired deputy, and Lori knows him. And additionally, the Pink Poodle will not permit uniformed officers from San Jose PD to go in and do a premise check, which I tried to do. And what you go in there to do is to see if there's any narcotic activity and criminal activities. The deputies responded and prevented me from going in, so that just gives you a little idea of how they train themselves. What I think is the most crucial area we need training is community policing. What is that? It's actually a philosophy from the top down. It's not just a program saying we got a little program here to teach you what community policing. If we develop community policing, the liability Rich talks about will be minimized tremendously. The research shows that. I've written papers on it. I presented in Florida papers on community policing to non-law enforcement but public administrators. That is a philosophy that no one is using, not even San Jose PD, no one's using it. It's programs, it's different. If you bring that in, you reduce liability, you increase the positive support by community. Where you don't have people complaining, you're working with them, you understand them and make those changes. I can give a lot of examples where I stopped homicides, I've solved homicides, I've prevented rapes by doing community policing. And there's a way to teach it. You have not only cops come in and do that, but regular people that are in the business. Stop.